Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss the first chapter of our literature book Gulmohar. The name of the chapter is The Boy Who Broke the Bank, written by Ruskin Bond. In this chapter, we will come to know why gossip travels fast, what can we do to stop rumors from spreading, how can we spread good news, and what would be the effect? So, dear children, let me tell you about the story. This story is a humorous story. Humorous here means funny. And the central theme is about gossip, anxiety, discontent, trust, panic, and humor. Here in the story, a casual remark is taken very seriously and the conclusion is very humorous. The famous idiom, making a mountain out of a molehill, suits this story very well. It means making big issues from very small things. In this story, we will come to know how a small thing has been converted into a big issue. So, the story starts with an introduction about a young boy, Nathu, working at a local bank as a sweeper owned by Seth Govindram. Here, Nathu is working as a sweeper in a bank, and Seth Govindram is the owner of the bank. Nathu is not happy with his job and is frustrated as the bank manager has not paid him his 2 months' salary. Sitaram, a washerman by profession and Nathu's friend, inquires about the reason for Nathu's frustration. He asks him what happened, and Nathu, who casually shares with his friend that the bank has not yet paid him and that he is waiting for his salary, and after which he would look out for a new job. Means after getting his salary from the bank manager, he would leave this job and would find another job. Sitaram, who delivers clothes, shares this news with one of his customers, Mrs. Prakash. Which news? The news that the bank is not paying salary to the employees and the boy Nathu is looking for a new job. And Mrs. Prakash here, she was looking for a sweeper boy who could help her out in household work. So after listening this that the bank is not paying salary to the employees, Mrs. Prakash, she shares the news that the bank has not yet paid its employees with Mrs. Bhushan. Mrs. Bhushan is friend of Mrs. Prakash. Now, Mrs. Bhushan further shares it with her husband, Mr. Bhushan, who is talking with Jugal Kishore, who owns a electrical goods shop. And that person, Mr. Jugal Kishore, he passes on the news to his neighbor, who is a barber. The barber is cutting the hair of an elderly gentleman. When he hears the news, the elderly gentleman rushes, means runs fast, to a general store across the road to deal with the situation. He dials the number to talk to Seth Govindram, only to find out that he is not in the town. And this way, from one person to another person, then from another person to another person, the word goes around that the boy didn't get paid for. So people assume that the bank has no money. Everybody thought the bank is going to bankrupt, all those people who have an account with the bank are worried about their money, the news spreads like a wildfire across the bazaar. Wildfire is something that spreads very fast. As the fire spreads in forest very fast, in the same way, the rumors, the false news, the baseless news also spreads very fast. The fact is that the bank has not paid the sweeper till 20th of the current month. The bank has not paid only one employee who was working as a sweeper, but as the news travels, it colors the fact, it conveyed a message in such a way that people think the bank is about to collapse. So, this story is basically about how rumors and the lack of communication can cause many problems and be destructive. So, children, after reading, after listening to the story, you must have understood how rumors, false news travels fast and how people multiply it, what they understand, what they convey. So, this is a chapter about miscommunication. So, dear students, the story is also a comment on general human behavior. People tend to spread negative news more than good news. They are eager to believe it and act on it without taking the trouble to verify its credibility. People have no concern for the underdog. Underdog means the people who belong to lower middle class. No one, not even Mrs. Prakash, who knows that Nathu had not been paid, bothered to find out how he is coping with the situation. The investors are concerned only about their deposits. People in a crowd develop mob mentality. Panic spreads easily in a mob, and people destroy public property. So, we need to be very careful. We should not trust and we should not spread the rumors until we know the authenticity or the truth of something. We should not spread the things and we should avoid them. And in present scenario also, during this tough period of COVID-19, when we all are locked down in our houses, we should not pay any attention to rumors. We should spread good news, and good news always have good impact on society. So children, I hope all of you have enjoyed and understood this story very well. Rest of the things we'll be discussing tomorrow. Have a good day.